All right, I want to thank you guys all for coming. It is a little bit past 10:35. Just if you can get a practice org, playground, dev org open and ready. And here's a link to a Google Doc that has more links basically that we're going to use today. And you'll have access to it after today as well, so you can look through it. And it's something I am not completely finished with actually, so you might see more updates in the future. All right, today's agenda: introduction to the team and the topic of discussion. And I did not update this slide, sorry guys. So number 2, it's actually not Salesforce sharing model, it is our mileage tracker app build along. Okay, product showcase. It's going to be more product showcase. You guys are going to build it with me. So I totally should have updated this slide. I apologize for that. And then at the end, wrap up and surprise. I'll be sharing a discount code with you guys to use when you sign up for saasguru. So that's some good news. All right. Oh, I need to update this slide. I definitely want to do that. All right, a little bit about me. I was a teacher for 12 years, and I've been working the past year, past 13 and a half months as a Salesforce administrator. I found out about Salesforce in 2019. It took me over a year to get certified, just because I didn't know what I was doing, really. I was just kind of dinking around in Trailhead. I didn't have a plan, essentially, and I wish saasguru was around back then. It would have made it a lot easier and a lot faster. Like I said, my first Salesforce role started about a year ago, 13 months ago. And in the past year, I've earned 5 more certifications. I just earned one on Sunday, was my most recent one. And so now I'm 6 times certified. All right, now let's talk about saasguru a little bit real quick. They're a training program that supercharges your Salesforce certification prep. Like I said, I wish they were around when I started, because I would have got certified way faster. They have that plan I was looking for. And it is tailored, summarized, and gamified. All 3 things that I like when I'm trying to try to learn something. It's tailored based on the first thing you do is you take the test, a practice test, and it scores you. You can kind of see here your readiness score. You take your first exam, it tells you what you're strong at, what you're weak at, and it tailors your training program based on which topics you did well on, which ones you maybe struggled with. And it's summarized. It's got a lot of little micro modules and short videos instead of big, long 30-minute, 45-minute modules. It's cut down really short, a couple minutes here and there. So the steps are pretty small. It's also gamified. Study groups, nudges, challenges, which are pretty fun. If you see a hackathon come up and it's a topic you're interested in, go ahead and join one of those. And you get ranked against everyone else in the world who takes that hackathon as well. And those are pretty much just a practice test to see how well you score. It's community powered as well. There is a chat community, or a Slack community, which I believe is very powerful. And let me actually show you. This is the saasguru chat. I'm going to go to the general, and there are 7,758 people in the community. Okay, so that's a lot of people there. If you have questions, the gurus are available 24/7. Someone in the world, one of the gurus, is awake and able to help you. So there's also live classes like today. We do webinars. There's a mentoring section as well, where you can sign up for one-on-one sessions with some mentors. There's projects. Today, I wouldn't really classify it as a project. And the ultimate goal is, okay, getting you that career in Salesforce. All right, so saasguru is here to supercharge your Salesforce certification, but not by itself. You still want to use Trailhead to do the learning, and saasguru is there to enhance it. Okay, could you get certified with Trailhead alone? Yes, but it took me 1.5 years or so to get certified using just Trailhead. Okay, adding saasguru to it will supercharge it and make it happen faster. Okay, let's see, moving on. Being part of the community is huge with saasguru. Like I said, I'm going to kind of go backwards through this. The Slack community is probably the main hub of that. Again, 7,000 plus people there answering questions, asking questions, where there is the gurus there. If you post in any of the help channels, there's different channels for Salesforce admin, and the different certifications that they might offer. We have our live classes and webinars like you're doing right now, product tips and updates on their website where they do blog posts, and certification vouchers. If you do one of the hackathons, even if you're not one of the top scorers, you're entered in a drawing for a certification voucher. And they're also available on LinkedIn as well, where you can see a lot of the updates. This is the bit.ly link that I shared with you guys. This is just kind of the main hub. And I kind of built this out similar to Trailhead, where this would be your module, and each one of these is your little sub tasks that kind of go along with it. And you can see I have these last two that I still need to create. So if you click the first link, create the mileage tracker app, that's where we're going to begin. Okay. And I kind of wrote this. I'm going to call it borrowing from Trailhead. And I just reworded some things to talk about my Trailhead app. So there is a little story behind it and all that good stuff. But we can kind of skip that because I want to get to the nitty gritty. So if everyone has their dev org open, let me open mine. Where is it? Let's do this one. Okay. I was the one unprepared this time. All right, we're going to start in setup, I believe. So if you can click your little gear tab or get to the setup menu, however you prefer to do that. Let's go to setup. All right, I'm going to be bouncing back from screen to screen here, but hopefully you guys can see it. All right, so let's scroll down. All right, so what we're doing today, we're going to create an app and a data model for the application. It only requires a few custom objects and a moderate number of fields as well. Okay. We're going to modify the user interface, page layouts, and things like that. We might not get to that today. We are going to implement some business logic, including formulas, validation rules, process builders, and flow. I don't know if we'll get to that today. And the build reports and dashboards part. That was the last kind of module of this, and we're definitely not going to get there. All right, so we're navigating to setup. Let's look through. The first thing we're going to do is create a custom object called runner. And the way I look at this is you could make this same exact app if you wanted to track the mileage on your car as well. So if you want to do a car version of this, you can do the same thing. Okay, so in setup, we're going to call it runner, plural runners, and the record name. So it's going to be a person who does the running. So we want the record name to be runner name. Okay, so let's do that. And if you actually want to, you can click create custom object from here. That's one place you can do it. Or an object manager. Okay, click custom object. We're going to go runner, runners. Okay, the object name is runner. I want to keep it that. And then the record name is runner name, which automatically kind of populates. And it's going to be text because we're going to type in people's names for this. We are going to allow reports. And let me see, what did we say? And allow search. Okay, so the allow search is down here. We're not really going to do activities. I'm not too worried about tracking field history. We could allow in chatter groups if you wanted. It's kind of up to you if you're going to use chatter. I don't have it really built out in my app, so I'm just going to leave it unchecked. Notes and attachments, not a big deal. Let's see, but the one thing we do want to do is we can actually launch the new tab wizard right away. Sometimes I turn this on and then sometimes I forget. So if you want to click that, it'll bring us to our next thing we're going to do anyway, which is creating a new tab. So I'm going to click it just because it's a little bit easier. Right. We were going to come here anyway and type in tab and come to this exact same page anyway. Okay, so tab style, click here and you get to pick whatever kind of picture you want. I believe when I first built it, I chose a heart because your heart is beating fast when you're doing this, but you can choose whatever symbol you want. All right, from there, you can type in a description if you want. Always best practice to type something in. And then click next. All right. We're going to have it default on because I want everyone in our fake company to be able to see it and use it. So I'm just going to leave that on. And it's default on for everyone. Again, I mean, in a real company, you can have it default off or tab hidden. And if you wanted to change it for each profile, specific profiles on or off, you can do that as well. But we're just going to leave it on so everyone can access it. Again, since it's just practice thing, adding to apps, I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it just to everything, just because it's fun. Okay. All right, so we have our tab made. Perfect. All right, let's go back to home. Okay, so we got through here. We basically went through next, 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 and save. All right, now we're going to enable feed tracking on the runner object. Okay, so on the home tab or in setup, we're going to type in feed, click on feed tracking. So right here, feed tracking. Find the runner. Click enable feed tracking here. And then let's see, runner name and owner. Okay, we're going to track the runner name and owner. All right, oh, sorry, that's the wrong button. Runner name and owner. There we go. I think this part I just got from the Trailhead module I was kind of following. Not totally necessary in doing this, but it does help. All right. All right, I just saw a question. The first link in the app here. First link's going to take you here, and we're on this first page. So if you click create the mileage tracker app, that's where we are. And we are down to create the mileage tracker app. All right, so in setup, we want to go to app manager. So now we're going to basically turn the app on and add the tabs we want to add and things like that. So let's search app manager here. And when you get here, we're going to click new Lightning app. All right. You guys can name it whatever you want. I believe I just put it as mileage tracker or mileage tracker app. It says mileage tracker, and then click next. You can customize the color you want. If you have a picture or something, you can add a picture there. So I'm just going to leave it. No, I'm going to change it. Change it to something that Salesforce doesn't have. So I'm going to do the orange. If you have a different color you want, go ahead and change it. Again, you can upload a picture here. Click next. All right, I'm going to leave it as standard navigation, just because I don't need the console type. Desktop and phone. I have looked at this on my phone, and it's kind of cool, even though the Salesforce app is not the greatest. And I'm going to leave it in the setup experience. It's not really a service app, so I wouldn't really want it, having the service app available. And I just allow people to personalize the stuff in here, so I don't check these. So go ahead and click next. Add utility item. We don't have anything to add yet, so we're going to leave that and just click next. Navigation items. So we want our runners, and that's pretty much all we have now. Okay. So if we follow along here, runners is the only thing we have made, but we are going to use reports and dashboards later. So let's go ahead and add those as well. The profiles, let's see if we can just, again, we were going to allow it to be used by everybody. So if you hold down shift, you can just select everybody, stick it over. Okay, now it's open to everybody. Okay, and that'll just have it pop up in the app launcher for them. And click save and finish. Again, all I did was when I selected it, I selected the top one, held shift, and just kept clicking down all the way to the bottom. And that allowed me to select them all at once. There's probably easier ways, but let's get everyone access to it because we want everyone to start running and be healthier. Let's see. All right. Available profiles. It says select system admin because that's what we are when we log in on these dev orgs. But if you wanted it available to everybody, add it to everybody. Okay. All right. To verify the change, click app launcher and search for mileage tracker. Let's see if it shows up for us. Oh, I called it mile tracker, but that's all right. Let's take a look, see what it looks like. All right, so far so good. All we have is our runners tab, reports, and dashboards tab, and nothing actually in here yet. Okay, so what we can do, just so we have something, no, let's skip that. I was going to create a runner, but let's worry about that later. All right, tour the app. You can see we have the app launcher. We should all know this, and we have our 3 tabs. All right, and that's the end of this first page on our journey. So we have our app created, but kind of plain. Even if we clicked in runners, all we have is runner name. We don't have anything to add to the runner besides their name. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to close this page. And if you kind of go back to our original bit.ly link that we shared, build the object model is next. This is going to be where we do most of our work today. All right. So if you click that, go to that next page. I already have it up. So I'm going to go here. All right. So what we're going to do in this little module is add fields to the runner custom object. Pretty easy. Create a mile entry custom object and fields. And I think we're going to skip this part for now. And you guys can come back and add that yourself. Okay. All right. Overview of objects, standard objects. These are the ones that come with Salesforce already. Custom objects are ones you can build and create on your own and add custom fields to. Okay, and that's what we're going to be working on. All right. Again, today we're basically going to focus on runner and mileage entry. So just these two. Runners are main object to track the progress of the runner, miles run or walked, and badges awarded. I don't think we'll have time to get to the badges today. Mile entry. These are every day you run and you're going to track your miles. We're going to put the date in and how many miles you ran. Okay. And then it's going to be tracked based on the runner. Okay. Badges and awarded badges, that'll come later. Again, I don't think we are going to have time to do that. Okay. But if we do a part 2 of this, we'll definitely build that out. All right. So this is my completed. If you've used Schema Builder, this is what it looks like. We have our runner object. We have our runner name and then progress. And that's what we're going to be adding. We're going to create this whole object here. And then the badges will come later if we get to those. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the runner custom object first. And we are going to create a progress field. And progress is just it's going to be a pick list field based on how many total miles we've run. Okay. And you'll kind of see later why we are doing a pick list field. Okay. So let's go to Object Manager, Runner, Fields and Relationships. So in setup again. Object Manager. All right, I'm going to change something really quick here, guys. I'm going to change the name of it. I'm going to put an asterisk in front. Whoops. Guess I can't do it there. Maybe it's the label. And what this does, it'll put it at the top of my object manager, just so I don't have to search it every time. All right, fields in relationship. Click new. So we're going to create a new field. Okay, the progress field. For data type, we're going to pick list. Okay, we're going to label it progress. And then I think the best way for you guys to do this is when we add in the values, you're just going to copy and paste from here. Okay. And it's going to be 10-mile increments, basically. All right. So let's create our pick list. Click next. Name it progress. If you had a global pick list value set, you could use that, but we don't. So we have to create our own values. And I'm just going to copy from there, paste in here. And what this whole running thing was about when I originally started was getting to 100 miles of movement in a month. So that's why my goal is 100 miles. All right. We're not going to check alphabetically because if you did that, it would screw up the order. Okay, we're going to set the first value as default. We want this to be first because the person, when they first start, they're going to have 0 miles, and that's the stage they're going to be at. And then we're going to keep the restrict pick list values defined to the value set box unchecked. Okay, so we want to uncheck that. So potentially, if you had some sort of automation, you can add more later. Okay. Don't check that. Use the first value as default because we want them to be set at that, even when they're first starting out. Okay. Click next. Visible to everybody. Everyone should be able to edit it. If we wanted someone not to be able to edit it, you'd click read only here, but we're not worried about that. And we're going to add it to our page layout automatically. So we're going to click save there. All right, we have our progress and we have our name, and that's all we have on our object so far. Okay, let's take a look. All right, now we're going to build our custom object for mile entries. Okay. Just like we created our runner custom object, it's going to be mile entry with the plural name mile entries. And then these are just going to be auto number fields. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. Go back to Object Manager, create custom object. And I'm just going to do this at the start. I'm going to put my asterisk there just so it's at the top. Mile entry. Mile entries. Okay. Again, the asterisk is just so it's at the top of Object Manager, so I don't have to search for it later on. I normally wouldn't do that kind of stuff. Down here at data type, though. Yeah. All right, record name. I'm going to remove the asterisk. Go to auto number, and you can make this whatever you want. But the format I have on my Google Doc is M-, and then you put the little brackets with however many digits you want in there. Okay, as the standard format. And starting number, I'm going to start at 1. Okay, I'm going to allow reports and allow search. So this will let me search in like global search at the top and allow me to run reports on these. So allow reports. Don't worry about these down here. And then allow search are the 2 checkboxes I want to make. Okay. I'm going to launch the new tab wizard as well, just so we can add it automatically, okay, to this app. Okay. So let's hit save. Let's see. For whatever, whatever. I'm going to just click one so we can move forward on this. I'm going to let everyone see this tab. Don't need to hide it for any reason. And this one, what apps am I going to add it to? This one, I'm going to only put it in my mileage tracker app. So I'm going to deselect all of them because the mileage entries, I don't necessarily need to share in all the other apps if I don't want to. Autofield should be number as per requirement. Yeah, because the mileage entries, I'm not going to like type in a specific name for each mileage entry. Yeah, did I set that up right? I think I did. Oh, did I? I think I just called it. Is this what you're saying? I didn't change what the name of it is. It says mileage entry name, but it's not technically a name. It'll be a number, but yeah, I mean, you can change that. I don't think I can change it now. It's too late. But it'll end up being a number displayed like this. Yeah, I can change it. Okay, I think I have to go to the object settings or something. I just want to keep moving forward. Hopefully you guys didn't make the same mistake I did. All right. Add the miles run field. The mile entry name tracks the number of miles run. So now we need a field that determines how many, okay, so yeah, how many resources of each type we need. That was, I copied and pasted from Trailhead and didn't change it. All right. So we're going to make a new field, data type number, and call it miles run. Okay, with a length of 2 and the decimals of 2. Okay. So we're on fields and relationships. New field. I'm going to do number. Okay. Because this is just the digits. Miles run. You can see it's saved in here for me. The reason I'm doing 2 digits here is so somebody, when they're doing this, they can't come in and say, I ran 100 miles today. Okay. If I left it at like 3 digits or 18 digits, they could enter hundreds of thousands of miles, and that's not really accurate. So this is one way I'm limiting how much they can do. And we're doing 2 digits, so I could run 10.25 miles, essentially, is what I'm setting up here. And I want to make this required, okay? Because I don't want them to be able to create a mileage entry record without putting miles in. So this one has to have a value. Okay. All right. I can change, if I rename the tabs and labels, I can change it. Okay. I can go back and do that later. All right. I want to allow everyone to see this and edit it. And I'm going to add it to our page layout. All right. So we have our miles run. That's great. We're going to add a date field, okay? Because I want to know what day I ran, how many miles I ran that day, okay, for each entry. So we're going to make it a date field with the name date, okay, and a default value of today. Perfect. So we're learning a few new things here. All right, date field. I don't really care the time. So I just did a regular date field on this one. Because maybe you ran early in the morning, but you're going to enter your mileage like later in the day if you don't get to it right away. And I want it to default to today, just in case, it's one less click for someone to do if they're entering the mileage that day, but they can always edit it later. So the formula for today's date is today, and then parentheses. Okay. And that'll autofill today's date, but again, you can always change it. when you're actually making a mileage entry. I want it visible to everybody, editable by everybody. So next, add it to the page layout. Okay, and save. All right. All right, this is where it gets fun. We want to add a lookup field of some sort, okay, and a master detail in this instance to the runner object, okay, because I don't want to just put entries in without knowing who ran, okay, who ran the miles. And the reason we want to do a master detail relationship is so we can do a roll up, okay, a roll up field to runners later on, okay. All right, so new field, data type, master detail, okay, and then you select the object it's related to. So new field, master detail, next, it's related to our runner object. I'm going to remove the asterisks. Runner is going to be the field name. I mean, or you can say runner name. Not sure if I put that over here. Doesn't really matter, kind of up to you. The child relationship is mile entries, which is correct. Okay. We're going to accept default visibility. We're going to add the runner field to the page layout. All right. So next, keep this default. This can be changed basically by anybody and automatically add it to the page layout. Perfect. And save. And it's adding the related list to our runners object. That's what that last page was. All right, badges custom object. I'm going to skip through this now. If we do a part 2, we're going to come back to this, or you can build this out on your own. Okay. I kind of want to get the mileage stuff built out right now. Okay. Awarded badges custom object, the same. We don't have time to get to all this stuff. So we're going to move past that. You can always go back and add that. All right. And then the rest of this is adding the badges and awarded badges to the custom app, which we don't need to do. Okay. All right. So that's the end of that page. All right. So if you go back to our original document, modify user experience. Okay. Let's take a look at that and what we're going to do. Okay, we're gonna modify the runner page layout, and we're gonna add a roll-up summary field for mileage entries. Perfect. All right, click the app launcher, you look at it. We're gonna enter in some, I want everyone to enter like 2 different people into the mileage, into the runner's object, okay? So you can put whatever names in you want. So I'm on runners here. Click new. You can do first and last. You can do whatever. Progress would be less than 10. We haven't started. And in all reality, I would remove this field from when they start. I wouldn't even have this as an option. Later on, I would remove that if I was doing this for real. Okay, so I created me. I'm going to create another one. I'll make Akshay. I apologize, Akshay. I'm not sure what your last name is. I'm just going to put your first name in. And then if I go back to runners, I can see the 2 people. So quickly make just 2 people there. And I'm going to keep reading on, see where we go from here. All right. Give you guys some time to do that. All right. After you create your two runners, let's do this. Let's take a peek at what it looks like. Kind of plain. I just have my name. Progress is right here. You can see created by, modified by the owner of the field. We're going to make changes to this. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can get there. But I'm going to go to Object Manager, go to our runner object, and then click Page Layouts. And there's only one layout right now. So when I click on that, it's going to allow me to edit the layout of the page. And what it's saying is, I don't want the owner so high on this side. So I'm actually going to move progress over to that side. So I think it looks better. Okay, so drag the progress field to the right above the owner field. And then drag the owner field down to the system info field above created by field. Okay. So I can move these around just to make the layout look better, however you want to do it. It's up to you. Okay, now I'm going to go down to the related lists. Okay, and I want to find my mile entries label. And I'm going to click the little wrench icon because I'm going to make some changes to that. Okay, so you can scroll down to related lists, and it's the only one here. Or if you're ever like really high on this page, if you click the button for related list up here, it kind of jumps you all the way down. And I'm going to click this little wrench. And it's going to allow me to add different fields over here that are shown in the related list. So if I was on the runner object, what would I want to see about my mileage entries? Okay. And we're going to add the miles run and the date field. Okay. And then click the little arrow button and shoot them over, and then they'll be on my mileage entries. So miles run, date. And if I really wanted to, I could change it. Do I want to see them maybe have the date first? I could put that up higher. And remember our mileage entry name, that's just numbers really. Do I really need to see that? Okay, if I really wanted to, I could remove it. So I could just have the date I ran and the miles I've run. Okay. And I can sort by ascending or descending. Okay. And you can kind of click on it on the page when you're actually looking at the record and change ascending and descending. But I'm just going to have it default to ascending here. I've removed the name. I don't want to see it there. Actually, no, I do want to see it there. I'll show you why. Sorry, keep that mileage entry name there, and I'm actually going to keep it first. Why? Because that's a clickable field. I can click on that, and it'll take me to the mileage entry record. So I'm going to leave it in there, even though it doesn't look nice. It's just numbers and stuff. I'm going to actually leave it there. All right. So we modified that. We would do the awarded badges as well if we created that, but again, we kind of skipped past through that. So on our page layout, we're going to click save there. And we have saved our new changes to our runner layout. All right, let's add some mileage tracker data. If we get to our app, okay, we can go to our related page and see our related list. And we can click new here from any runner we want. So if we're here, I'm going to hit refresh because we made some changes to this page. You can see I moved progress over here, put the owner field lower. I click on related. I don't have any entries yet. I've not run any miles. So let's create a new mileage entry. Okay, you can see it autofills me as the runner because we're on my record page already. It puts in today's date. And now I'm going to enter some miles. I'm going to say I did 3, but I'm actually going to say I did it yesterday. Okay, and I'm actually going to do another one. And then I did 2 miles. I'm going to keep it as today's date. So I ran 2 miles today. So just add a couple in there. All right, let's get a couple entries. And on our other runner as well, add a couple entries to that person as well. So let's add a few to Akshay. Akshay, man, he's really good at running. He did 5 the other day on the 28th. And then this morning, he did another 5. So, you know, he's pretty good at running. So what can I say? He's better than me. So when you add a couple mileage entries to both your runners, that's cool and all, but if I look here, I can't tell how many miles Akshay has run. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a roll-up summary field that adds these miles and it displays it up here. Okay. So we need to get back to our runner object and create a new field. That's a roll-up summary. Okay. And we're going to call it total miles. So if we get back here, we're already in our runner object, or if you're not, please navigate to it. Fields and relationships. Click new, roll-up summary field. And next, we're going to call it total miles. And we are auto add it to custom report types. I don't have any custom report types for this. Usually when I create new fields at work, I try to add it automatically anyway, because there's a reason they're making these new fields, and usually it's for reporting purposes. So I always do that. The summarized object. So we're tracking the mileage entries. Okay. And it's the only option because it's the only child object related to it. If you were on, I don't know, opportunities, and you had a bunch of child relationships to that, you might have more options here. And here's our different options. If I click count, it would say how many mileage entries are there? And it would say 2. Because I have 2 mileage entries for me. Akshay has 2, but that's not what we want, right? We want to sum, we want to total, okay, the miles run. I could do a min. What is the least amount of miles run I've done? So for me, it was 2 miles was my lowest. Akshay was 5. If I did max, mine would say 3. Akshay's would say 5. But we want to do sum because we're adding them all up, right? And we want to add up all of them included in the calculation. I don't think I've ever set it up where only meeting certain criteria, but I'm sure there are reasons you might use that. Okay. So I'm adding up all the miles I have run on my mile entries. Okay. It is read-only automatically. I'm going to add it to the page layout automatically. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do, let's actually refresh our page. Let's see where it's at. Boom, you can see it. Akshay has his 10 miles. I have my 5 miles. And our progress hasn't changed, and there's nothing automating that, and that's fine for now. All right, let's see what time it is. All right, I know we're going a little long here. Yeah, this is a lot. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the next stuff, but we're not going to build it out today just because we don't have the time for it. All right, so the next thing we were going to do is create a progress bar. Okay, technically not a progress bar, it's a path. If you've ever set one of those up, and I can actually show you guys. I'm going to show you my completed mileage tracker. So this can be homework for you guys. If you want to complete out the progress bar, it includes creating a record type, because in order to have the paths, you need a record type created. So you have to do that first. And then you create the progress bar. And you are actually setting it for on a pick list. That's why we have the progress field. Okay. And then you get to add it to your record page. So if that is your guys' homework, I'm going to show you what it looks like actually. This is my real one I created a while back. And you can see my badges here. So this is my progress bar, and I'm actually going to delete some of these. Let's see if it works. Okay, there we go. I'm at 5 miles, exactly where I was in our little demo right here. And I created a few different ways to add miles. So I just want you to watch the progress bar as I add things. Doesn't matter. Oh boy, that's not good. Let's try this one. Maybe I broke something. Oh, that's not good. Let's try this way. I think one of my automations might be broken behind the scenes. Yep. All right. So I guess I can't demo it for you. I'd have to look into that. So what happens is as the miles get added, the total miles, the progress field gets updated automatically with it was a process builder I built. And as that updates automatically, the progress bar moves further and further. Let me show you. And then I added guidance for success at 50 miles and then at 100 miles. Okay. But that's your homework, I guess. Or if we do this again in a couple weeks, we will pick up where we left off. We'll finish this out. We will do the badges as well. Okay. But nothing is going to be automated yet. So in our current app, once you build your path and you get your total miles working, you'd have to manually update this, okay, as you go along. And as you manually update it, your path will update. If you wanted to, you could build a flow to update that automatically. And that's what I would do now. I used a process builder a few years ago for that. So I'm going to stop there.